I always say that I don't understand why people always psychoanalyze women. Why should women be involved in politics? Do you psychoanalyze the men as much? We're part of the society, 51% of the society. So we're part of the society, male or female. Why should women not be involved in society, in politics? We're part of the politics there. Now, so when you ask me why should women be involved, the question I put back to you is why should men be involved in politics? My father was a soldier, as I said, but he was in the United States in 1960 when Kennedy was shot. And I think not everything there was about JFK, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. He read about the Kennedys. He made sure I read all those books, and he imbibed it in me that, that Joseph Kennedy said, I would do whatever I had to do, but one of my children would be, I don't quite remember the quote, but it goes something like, I would do whatever I have to do, but one of my children would be a senator. No, he'll be president of the United States. And I think that just, my father lived it. And so he would buy all the books and he would gift me. And then when Margaret Thatcher was on television, he would make me watch her and, Francis Pym. And, for me, it was harrowing. But that was what it was. And so growing up, I was the one who, in his mind, was fractious enough to brave politics. And so I read everything there was like him about the Kennedys. I read about Parliament. I understood the American Constitution. And at the time, you'll recall that growing up, there was the military regime. So he probably had a foresight that there would be a time like this. And so I read a lot. And then I decided I wanted to go into politics when I thought I was ripe. Chief Ojo Madrikwe of blessed memory as well was a family friend, and at the time he was the secretary of the PDP. And so Chief Ojo Madrikwe came for breakfast. He came to have breakfast with my parents one day, and I came in and I said to my son, Uncle, I really need to talk to you. I've had this build up all my life about being in politics, and now the time has come. And my father says it's too dirty. And Chief Ojo Madrikwe said to my dad, give her a chance. Let her try. If she fails, then we'll walk away. It won't be for want of her trying. And so I thanked him very much. And so I went into the primaries, and it was very tough. So my father sent all my brothers and cousins to protect me, to make sure that I didn't get hurt. It was very violent.
I'll tell you something. I could tell you a whole litany of what the concerns are. But one of the greatest concerns is the political structure. It's the old boys club. And it's not, if you look at the political structure, every political party would keep just one position aside for women, and that is the woman leader. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you become the treasurer of the party. But then it's the old boys club. But what did I face? Now, initially, here I was a woman coming in relatively unknown in the local environment, coming in to seek their votes. Of course, you'd realize that there were certain people who were there, who were homegrown, who were put. It's almost like a queue, who were supposed to be the natural progression, who were supposed to be the next in line, and so you had those barriers up against me. The questions like, where does she come from? What is all this? Somebody comes from nowhere. And so that is that. Now, also in politics, you must realize that as a woman, everything is going to be thrown at you, including the kitchen sink. You're going to have everything. Everything is going to be criticized, from your fashion sense to your education. You're going to be scrutinized in ways that men are not going to be scrutinized. They're going to psychoanalyze you. Why exactly do you want to go into politics? What is it about politics? Because, the belief is that any woman who's in politics is just a mindless, power-grabbing so-and-so, as against the man who is in politics, which is a natural progression that men are born leaders. Now, when you look at what happened in the United States, for instance, and I say to people that Hillary Clinton, and look at her on my table, Hillary Clinton being the president of the United States may not have affected us in Africa personally, but it's anecdotal. It would have given us the belief that it is possible to do it in such a male-dominated environment. And so you find that the greatest challenge for a woman is not what you have, because facts really don't win elections, emotions do. Cultures win elections, beliefs win elections, not necessarily the facts. And so everything is going to be thrown at you. The media is going to be used against you. Funding is going to be a serious issue. Of course, as usual, it doesn't matter where you're coming from or what your background is. For as long as you're going to go back to a rural area to campaign, the cultural issues are going to come up. So, it's okay for you to come out of your home, but then you're going to go back to a place where they have those age-old cultural issues about a woman. And I recall, translated in Igbo, they said that how can a woman who stoops to me rule them? And, and that was quite a big deal, and so you have those concerns. And it's really not about who you are. It's just that, the male, the alpha male in the African society is just so ingrained and so indoctrinated in the minds of so many people that it's very difficult. So for me, those were the challenges. Funding was a challenge. Breaking those beliefs was a challenge. Getting past the gatekeepers, the natural and unnatural gatekeepers of society was a problem. Just breaking the psyche was a huge problem.